joining me in the Room podcast to talk about his matchup happening at Cage Titans 50 on November 6th. Randy Francis in the house, man. How's it going, bro?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How's everything going, man? Haven't talked to you since before the shit hit the fan and fighting stopped, man. But as far as going through all that, man, how'd you make it through, bro?
Yeah, so strike zone closed down. Like that's just no longer a gym anymore. So I had to adapt, and by doing so, I ended up contacting Billy Goff because me and him were both from the 860. So I'm like, yo, this kid's still fighting. Like, hit him up, see what he's doing. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, I heard you guys are sparring or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, just come on down, like whenever you want. And the next day or whatever, I came through, and me, him, and Austin and Mike Dexter, we were just doing nonstop sparring, helping him Billy get ready for that Bellator fight we had with I think Hobson Gracie. And yeah, eventually I invited up the jiu-jitsu instructor Kierkegaard down, and it was like a match made in heaven. Dexter is a phenomenal Muay Thai striker and a D1 wrestler, or former D1 wrestler, and Kierkegaard is just a really nasty jiu-jitsu black belt, and they both pay extreme attention to detail in their training, so it worked out perfect.
Excellent, my man. Well, you came out of it jumping on a Cage Titans card. It was your first time fighting for Cage Titans, I do believe, right?
Yeah, Mike actually offered me a title shot right away. Not sure what happened. It got rejected, so I basically got the next best guy, which was Tyreen. So, unfortunately I lost to him, but, as far as I'm concerned, Tyreen was supposed to get that title shot. I'm not really sure what happened with that, he probably got COVID. I'm pretty sure we all got COVID after 48, to be honest.
I think I had sniffles, man. I didn't feel right for a couple of days, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, dude, that place was so packed. It was crazy. I remember asking Mike the day of the fight, I'm like, yo, Mike, my dad didn't get a ticket online. Can I just get a ticket or something? And so it's oversold, but I don't want your dad to miss your fight, so I'll just sell him a ticket in the least oversold section or something. He's like, I'm not gonna let your dad miss your fight because it's oversold. So it was awesome of them.
Excellent. Yeah, well, Mike always caters to the fighters as far as helping them out.
Dude,
He's
yeah, Cage Titans definitely for sure is to date the best promotion I've fought for. I got a little goodie bag and everything. After my fight, I'm sitting there eating cookies. I'm like, yo, this is the life right here.
Well, Randy, you've been around for a long time, man. Somewhere up to 13 amateur fights. You fought for titles all over the place. You fought fighters that are a couple of them maybe four fights deep into their pro careers, man. So you've fought kind of everywhere. So you experienced these promotions. So I'm glad you had a good time at Cage Titans so much that you're going back for a second time, man. What are you looking forward? What are you looking forward to this time? It's a card all your own as far as the amateurs.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was kind of weird, because when we accepted the fight, we weren't really told about that. So, my coach was a little upset about it because, we got two guys on the morning card, and then we got Billy Goff. I think he's the main event on the last card. So, that's a long day for a coach. You got two guys fighting on the morning card, and then you got to sit around and wait for your pro guy who's the main event for the pro card, So it's going to be a long day for him.
Long day for the gym as well, because I'm sure you'll be warming up Billy in the afternoon, getting him ready for that fight after you had a scrap. You know what I mean? So, dude, as far as you talked about Dexter. We know how Dexter coaches and his fight mentality is: get the toughest fights now, so you're ready when the time has come, man. So you don't get beat up at the higher levels. Randy, you've been at it for a long time, 13 fights. You're taking on a kid, man, that 3 fights deep, coming out of Lauzon's, kind of a kid very confident in his game, and he's coming up to meet you. So here's another young kid who's going to challenge Randy, because you have a name, man, and you don't take easy fights, man. What are you thinking about this matchup as far as, fighting another young talent coming up?
Oh, I love it, dude. I mean, props to him for coming up because as far as I'm concerned, like, nobody wants to fight the kid at family. I didn't even get the name. My coach was like, hey, can you make 140? I was like, I'm not going to 140. And then he came back. He was like, well, I got a good fight for you, and they'll do 145. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll take it. Like, I didn't even – they told me the name, but, like, I didn't even, like, look him up or anything. Kind of like, yeah, like, I'll take that. I don't care. My coach, like, a week after I accepted the fight, my coach was like, hey, did you go watch any of his videos? I was like, no, what? I was like, I trust that you made the right decision or whatever. Like, I'm not worried about it. And he's like, oh, we'll go watch his videos. I think you'll be happy with it or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever.
And that's definitely because it's a scrap. It's an exciting fight that you're gonna be able to get in there and grind, throw some friggin' hands, grind against the cage, the floor, wherever it goes, man. Because Valdina, I mean, he's a quick little guy, man, and he's got some power, but he's a really good, transitions and just grappling and really good game out of a young kid coming out of there. And I mean
yeah, that's anybody coming out of Lauzon, So, when a lot of people, I feel like when they hear Lauzon, they're like, oh, I don't want to fight anybody from there. I'm like, let's go. Like, I would love to fight somebody out of Lauzon. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, I'm an amateur. I'm going to be 0-0 when I'm pro. Like, I want to fight hard people now. Like, I don't want to. Like, I know he's like a former college wrestler or whatever. Like, that's great. Like, I'd rather fight college wrestlers now as an amateur than not ever fight high level wrestlers and then get to the pro levels and then like I'm fighting like a college level athlete. I don't want it to bother me at all. And plus I train with Jake Casey. He's a former. He was a state champion out in Iowa. He's a college wrestler as well. So. But and Billy's also a nasty wrestler, so I'm pretty used to dealing with wrestlers at this point.
Well, some of your former opponents that you've had to face in a title fight or two have been wrestlers, and I know speaking to you in the past in a couple interviews, you were sharpening up your wrestling game even back then because there was a lot of wrestling dominant fighters that you had to face in the cage, man. So, in this fight, what are you looking at? I mean, now that you got to look at the kid, what do you see as far as the excitement with the fight and how you see it kind of going with this?
I mean, like, my goal with all my fights is always fight of the night, So I watched the interview with you guys, and he says he's gonna bring it. He looks for me to bring it, so I'm ready to fucking bring it. You know what I mean? Like, he said he's gonna fucking head kick me or whatever. Like, all right, like I've fucking been kicked in the head plenty of times in fights. I've had my fucking face cut open. Like, he ain't gonna be the first person to kick me in the head, and he ain't gonna be the last person to kick me in the head. You know what I mean? So whatever.
Excellent. Well, Randy, a couple more questions before I let you get going. Dude, I think this is going to be your 14th amateur fight. You spoke when you mentioned when you turned pro, man. When is it time? Because you fought so much talent up to this point. You have fighters that you fought that are pros already, a few fights deep. You have a couple of fighters that you fought that are making their pro debut. When is it Randy's time to, make that leap? I know you with Dexter and he makes sure you're ready when the time is to be ready. So when do you think is the future and that timeline as far as, getting out there and making the pro ranks?
I'm looking at, I'm just focused right now on this fight. And right now I'm really looking maybe the earliest, maybe reality. But I'm going to see if I can get I'm going to get to do this fight, maybe get one more before the end of the year. Who knows? It depends on, who's putting on shows or whatever. But, I mean, basically, like, I'm trying to, like, I'm with a completely new team. I'm with a completely different coach. Plus, I took, like, a year and a half off, since of COVID. Like, if it wasn't for COVID, I would definitely already be pro by now. But, that's out of my control. So I got to work with, what I can control.
Well, excellent, man. This is going to be a second fight back, man, and in a couple of months span here. So you're getting busy and you're getting that work, and it looks like you're right back where you left off before the world went to shit. But Randy, last question before I let you give your shout outs, any sponsors and thank yous and all that other stuff, man. What do we expect to see out of you? Your second time in Cage Titans, fighting a kid that basically said, second round, he believes he's going to finish you.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can even get through the first round, Like, he's talking like he's never even knocked out anybody before. Like, come on now. Like, you're moving up a weight class, and now you're talking like you're fucking Conor McGregor, Like, relax, dude. Like, you just fought a dude that was 0-0. Like, like, I get he's probably just, all hyped up that he won his second fight, Like, I get it, but, I don't see him finishing it at all.
Excellent, my man. Well, Randy, you and I go back and forth on Messenger because we're getting kicked off Facebook every other day with memes. So, you and I have been chatting a while back and forth on Instagram and Messenger, man. But it's been a, pleasure talking to you and actually getting to talk about MMA, in person and here. So, dude, I'll definitely be at the fight. I'll definitely be covering it. Definitely be cage side watching it because it's an important fight, man. It's going to be a great matchup. So, last thing, Randy, social media. Any sponsors, thank yous, and I'll let you get out of here.
I don't really got any sponsors right at the moment. Not for this fight anyway, because it's way out in Plymouth, Massachusetts. But yeah, my social media is Randy Francis MMA. On across the board, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't even do that, but Twitter. I don't really. All I really do is Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, Randy Francis MMA across the board.
Excellent, my man. Well, Randy, dude, I'll see you in like 2.5, 3 weeks at Cage Titans around noon because that's when the cards start, and I'm sure you're going to be deeper in the card as far as maybe around 1:30 or 2 or I don't know.
Yeah, that would definitely be
yeah. Well, man, definitely a pleasure talking to you tonight, man. I'll be catching up with another trainer partner of yours, Jake, the end of the week. Man, you got an army going in with you, man. So great for the team, Dexter, doing great things, man. And
yeah, it's great having training partners now because, before at Strike Zone, it was just me and Jeremy Wolfolk, at the last year before COVID. So it's nice not only having multiple people on the card again, but it's nice, having Jake at, in the same weight class. So, we get to go at it all the time.
Excellent, my man. Well, pleasure talking to you again, my friend, and we'll see you at Cage Titans 50, bro.